Dueling Grounds weapons all have their places in the meta. The katana is the most well-rounded and the strongest. The daggers are the fastest, and the warhammer is the most BS super armor. But there's a pretty clear diagram on where weapons lie, especially if you do any amount of research. But no weapon is more decisive than my personal favorite weapon, the Naginata. The Naginata is all about high range and high power, with some of the largest sweeping blows in all of Dueling Grounds. The thing is, the community can't seem to decide if this weapon is top tier or bottom tier, so let's figure out why. At face value, the Naginata has a lot going for it. Long range, absolutely stupid posture damage, huge hitboxes, and a sick ultimate animation. But it's got plenty of things holding it back too. Unfortunately, huge, sweeping attacks lend rather easy parries, and it's a weapon second only to the Warhammer in slow speeds. But unlike the Warhammer, it's not a weapon that can just truck through anything. The only thing the Naginata has going for it is its long range. But unfortunately, if you want range, there is a far better alternative. So with all these pros and cons, why don't we figure out why some people think it's top tier, while others think it's bottom tier? Most of the support for the Naginata comes from the fact that this weapon is a newbie crusher. There is no better weapon built for punishment than the Naginata. It has weak super armor on its heavy swings, allowing it to eat light swings. People who are newer to the game are often the ones placing this weapon on high tiers. It also has arguably better zoning capabilities than the Cursor Rigima, due to the grappling hook-like nature of the weapon. That weapon mostly focuses on drawing your opponents in, which does work for that weapon since it has close range capabilities. However, that doesn't work very well for the Naginata as it can't function at close range. And this is where most people who pick up the weapon quit. They simply can't adapt to people just closing the gap and eliminating their long range advantage. But it's where I found some strengths that put the Naginata firmly over the rest. And to prove it to you, we gotta talk about wrestling. You see, I am a wrestler, and a pretty decent one at that. One of the main principles of wrestling is control over the ring. You want to be the one forcing your opponent to the edges of the ring, rather than the other way around. In wrestling, being against the edges of the ring puts them in a bad spot. It limits their ability to move, forces them to take the opponent head on, and if they step out of the ring, that gives the opponent a point. The same logic can be applied to the Naginata. You want to be in about this area, and for your opponent to have their back against the wall, limiting their options and forcing them to take the Naginata player head on. The Naginata player can lay down heavy pressure while giving them an option to back out at any time. A funny thing that the Naginata can do is deny dash attacks. Well, yes, it can be done with every weapon. It works especially well with the Naginata. Its light attack range straight up beats out the range of every single dash attack in the game, with two exceptions: the dash heavy attacks on the Naginata and Kurosagama. It's reactable, very easy to do, and has zero counterplay. As well, unless you get pump faked, you can't exactly parry while you're doing an attack. With enough skill, the Naginata can be one of the most oppressive and powerful zoning weapons in the game. Oh wait, except for the fact, man, this weapon is so fun. Just forcing this guy to stay away from me? Huh. Oh wait, what is he doing? Yeah, unfortunately the counterplay to this zoning is just to close the gap. And when it comes to weapons like the katana and gauntlets, closing that gap is very easy. And honestly, there is not a whole lot you can do. The Naginata is amazing when it has all of its benefits of long range, high posture, and inescapable dash attacks, but once your opponent close in, those advantages are stripped away, and at that point, it's just a slightly faster and worse Warhammer. So where does this thing land? Is it amazing? Absolutely top 1? No, not even close. And for this Dueling Grounds re-ranked video, it will sit comfortably in the usable tier. It's a strong weapon when under optimal circumstances, and it's a complete newbie crusher, but falls apart the moment your opponent knows what they're doing and closes the gap. It's still my favorite weapon though, and honestly, I love using this weapon in ranked since it's known for being weak, and surprising good players with my tactics will never not be funny, but I would not recommend picking this weapon. If you want range, go with the Kurosagama, and if you want posture damage and strength, go with the Warhammer. Overall, this weapon is just barely passable, pretty funny if you know how to use it properly, but not much else. Anyways, thanks for watching, subscribe, like, and comment F, and I'll see you in the next video.